Hello everybody, I'm Jacqueline. I'll be teaching psychology. Today I'll be continuing with the fourth chapter, learning. Under this chapter, I have completed perception, and the second topic is thinking. In thinking topic, I'll be teaching about definition, tools or levels of thinking, types of thinking, and errors of thinking. First, I'll start with definition. The definition of thinking says that thinking is the organization or reorganization of the current learning in the present circumstances with the help of learning and past experience. What the definition means is thinking is a work of mind. What your mind is doing, it is organizing of particular concept, and then you are reorganizing the current learning, what you are learning in the present situation. That present learning you are reorganizing because of the past experience and the present situation. You will combine both and you will think, or you can analyze in your brain, and you will gain the knowledge. This is what the definition means. Next one, we'll see the nature of thinking. Nature is, first one, it is essentially a cognitive activity. Cognitive activity means your thinking is working in your mind. Cognitive means thinking capacity, learning, or your brain activates when it comes to thinking. So next one is, it is always directed to achieve some end or purpose. It means when you're thinking, it is mainly oriented towards what you achieved in the last. The third one is, it is described as a problem solving behavior. See, when you have a problem, you utilize your brain to solve that. So when you're utilizing your brain is nothing but you're analyzing the problem. Analyzing here is mainly called thinking. Okay. The next one is, it is symbolic activity. Symbolic activity means you are thinking in your mind and you're analyzing. When you're thinking, you don't actually use most of your body parts. Only major part is your brain is working. And the next one is, it is mental exploration instead of motor exploration. As I already told the previous topic, here you are not using most of your body parts. You are using your mental ability. And the next one is, it can shift very rapidly. Thinking, it is not that you have to give one concentration for major duration only on one topic. When you are thinking, your thinking has steps. After this one, what you're supposed to do. After this problem solving, next method, what is the next method, and the next method, and what else should be done. It is a continuous process. One after the other, you keep shifting. This word means you can shift very rapidly. And the last one is, it is internal activity. Internal activity means you are not showing it off outside. Your thinking is going inside your brain. This is not something others can see. So this is the nature of thinking. The next one is types of thinking. Types of thinkings are, first one, perceptual or concrete thinking, conceptual or abstract thinking, creative thinking, logical thinking, or you can also call it as reasoning. And the fifth one is problem solving learning. Sixth one, convergent versus divergent. So these are the six types of thinking. Now we'll see first one, what is perceptual or concrete thinking. Concrete, see, perception can also be called as concrete thinking. Here it is based on perception. Perception, the whole chapter I have already completed in the last class, that is last video. Perception means you are perceiving or you're acquiring knowledge. Okay, so concrete thinking is based on perception. Second one is, perception is a process of interpretation. That is the definition of perception. Uh, Third point is, it is also called as concrete thinking as it is carried over the perception of actual or concrete event. It means the basic of perceptual is also considered as concrete thinking. Next we'll see for GNM, before I continue with the next topic, for GNM syllabus, you need not to explain in detail for every topic. You have to just mention what is the meaning or what the word means about according to the main chapter. That is what you are supposed to explain within 2-3 sentences. So we'll not go in deep, only according to your syllabus I will teach you. The second concept is conceptual or abstract thinking. Conceptual abstract thinking is it does not require any perception of actual object or event. In conceptual thinking, you need not to perceive any subject, content or object. All you need to do is you are using your brain directly and you are thinking. That is, it is called abstract thinking as it makes use of concepts. What you're doing, you are using particular concept and then you are thinking on it. See, when it comes to perceptual thinking, you are perceiving from the your surrounding or from your environment, or you can also call it as from the situation. From the situation, you are perceiving. But in conceptual thinking, you are not perceiving, you are not acquiring anything from your sense organs. All you're doing is there is a topic, or you can call it as concept. Only on concept based, you are thinking. For concept based, I can give you an example. If I tell you, tell me what is nurse patient relationship. So it's one concept. Nurse patient relationship is a concept. So what the person does, according to the concept, he will think in his mind. That means he is thinking what the word means, what it is, what and all comes under it. So what is nurse patient relationship? You are thinking. So based on a concept is thinking. This is what conceptual thinking means. Next one is creative thinking. Creating thinking refers to ability for original thinking to create or discover something new. See, creative thinking is idea which you already have in your memory. Using that ability, you are recreating or you are using your new imagination and being creative on the second stimulus. As you already know that thinking is also responsible for your previous experience. So the creative thinking can be what your past experience has been. Using that idea, you are being innovative in your own way. Being innovative means you're being creative and you think in that way. That is what creative thinking means. Next one is logical thinking, or you can also call it as reasoning. Especially logical thinking and reasoning means most of the scientists or most of the scientific background people use this. Logical means when you do something, there should be a reason behind it. Especially when you do mathematics or any problem solving solutions, first you see the question and then you analyze what it is, how to solve it. Then using the formulas, you will solve the problem. That means you know how it can be solved by using particular problems and particular solution. Particular problem has particular formulas. Based on the formulas, you are explaining or you are simplifying the question. That means you are using logical thoughts. That means what you're thinking should have a reason behind it. Okay, that is what this logical thinking means. Next one, problem solving learning. What is problem solving learning? Before this slide, I'll tell you. Problem solving is an important kind of thinking. It occurs in novel or difficult situation in which solution is not obtainable. See, when you have a problem, you are going to solve the problem. When you are solving the problem, there will be a process going in your mind. That particular process, that means you are solving a problem, and that solution which goes inside your mind is called problem solving thinking. Okay. Next one is this problem solving has particular 7 steps of cycle. This is a cycle. Okay. So the 7 steps of problem solving are: first one, identify the problem. Here what they are saying is, if there is a problem, how you are going to solve the problem by following 7 steps. First one is identify the problem. That means you are identifying what the problem is exactly, and then explore the problem. Exploring means you are broadly studying what the problem is about. And the next one is set goals. Set goals means you are setting a goal. End of the day, how you're going to find out a solution. You are going to set a goal. If this is the problem, what could be the solution? Okay, you are setting a goal according to that. And then look at alternatives. Alternatives means what are the options for solving a problem. That means look at alternatives. Fifth one is select a possible solution. From when you look at alternatives, you will select which is the proper method to solve the problem. You will select among so many options, you will select one particular solution and then you will implement it. Sixth point is implement a possible solution. When you have selected a solution, now you will implement. That means you are putting it to an action. So you are actually implementing solution and then you will evaluate. The last topic is evaluate. In evaluate, what you are doing, you are analyzing whether the problem has been solved or not solved. This is how you follow the cycle, or this is how you follow the steps of problem solving. If the end during evaluation, if the problem is not being solved, then you will come back to the first point. That is first step, identifying the problem. Again you will do the 7 steps by repeated version, so that you will meet a proper solution to the problem. This is what problem solving thinking means about. Next topic, tools or levels of thinking. These tools of thinking, or you can also call it as elements of thinking. There are major 5 levels of thinking. That is, first one, image level. Second one, concept level. Third one, symbols and signs. Fourth one, language level. The fifth one is logical level. I'll tell you from the first one, that is image level. Image level thinking is when you think, or to think something, you should have first there will be an image in front of you. Okay, when there is an image, you will perceive that image to your mind. So after seeing that image from your eyes, you will start thinking what it is, what are the contents in it, what are the colors in it, what does it mean. So this analyzation goes in your brain. So that is what image level thinking means. The second one is concept level thinking. Concept level thinking means based on a concept, that means based on a particular topic you are going to think. The third one is symbols and signs. You will perceive an image, or you will perceive the subject means it can be a image, or it can be a person, or it can be a signboard, chart, or a billboard, etc. Any kind of symbols and signs which contain signs, you will perceive it through your eyes and then you will analyze it by thinking. This kind of thinking is called symbols and signs. Fourth one is language level thinking. Language level thinking means based on the language, which language, what does it mean, what does the inner depth means, what is the second meaning of that particular language. So based on the language you are thinking. The fifth one is logical level thinking. Logical means or to a particular topic you are giving a scientific reason behind it. With the base of a scientific reason, you are thinking and analyzing the topic. That is what logical level thinking means. So these are the 5 levels of thinking. Next we'll see errors in thinking. Errors, or you can also call it as wrong things. What happens during thinking, or what affects your thinking. Okay, the heading means errors or thinking. First one is emotion. So based on your emotion, even your thinking capacity can also alter. Okay, example is if you're too happy, or if you are in a party mode. When you are in a very happy mode and your emotion is too high, in that duration you will forget what is happening, what not. Obviously you will be aware of the situation, but if we give one particular topic and we ask your point of view in that situation, your emotion being happy will affect the thinking capacity also. Okay, that means your emotions can also affect in your thinking. The second one is wrong perception. Perception means acquiring knowledge. So if you are acquiring knowledge which is wrong, or in a not proper manner, in a faulty manner, if you are perceiving it, your thinking also becomes wrong. That means wrong perception also affects in your thinking. Third one is fear of failure. Fear of failure is you are thinking and analyzing how to, example, if there is a problem and you want to do the and you want to solve the problem, but before doing or before starting the solution method, what you will do, you will think, should I will I be able to fulfill the end, or will I be get the end product, or what will be the end, what if my wrong become what if my answer becomes wrong. So you will have that fear in your mind. So if you have fear of failure, so that also affects your, that is wrong signs of thinking. And then superstitious belief is, in Hindi we call it as andhvishwas. So this kind of superstitious belief, which is not that due to some traditional or culture background, some people have superstitious belief. Example, you are thinking something, okay, on a particular concept. Yep, on particular concept you are thinking. What happens is, if a black cat passes in front of you, the person thinks, oh, black cat is a bad notion. So what you'll think, whatever you're going through or whatever you're thinking and analyzing to solve a problem, you will think, oh, that will be a failure, even though it is not, but your thinking will affect it because of your superstition belief. And the fifth one is lack of information. See, to think something, first you should need particular concept, object, or a subject. On a particular that one, you are going to think and analyze. To think, if you get lack of information, if the situation or the stimuli has lack of information, or that particular thing we are perceiving in a less informed way, then your thinking also affects. The sixth one is guessing. See, when you have to give a solution to a problem, you should have a particular formula or you should have a particular solution options, so that you do the procedure or you do the implementation of solving. But rather than taking the steps, if you directly jump to a conclusion by guessing, oh, this can be the answer, so let me go through it. So if you start guessing, your thinking process also affects. That is not a successful manner. So these are the errors of thinking. So in thinking chapter, I have completed definition of thinking, tools of thinking, errors of thinking, and then types of thinking. And I also completed nature of thinking. So this particular topic here I have completed thinking topic. Next I'll continue with reasoning. In your syllabus, it is continued with thinking and reasoning. So I'll teach you what is reasoning. First, we'll see the definition of reasoning. Reasoning is a stepwise thinking with a purpose or goal in mind. See, reasoning means first you have a topic in your mind. On based on the topic, how you solve it by taking a stepwise. That means you are giving a reason to a particular topic what you're going to do. That means you are reasoning. That means you are giving a scientific reason behind it. The nature of reasoning, why you have to reason or what the reason has in it. Nature, in the topic nature we'll see. Nature, it is a form of logical thinking. That means it is a form of logical. What is logical thinking? It is, logical thinking is, you are thinking based on a particular problem. Okay, you are giving a scientific reason to it behind. So that is what logical thinking means. So the nature of reasoning is, it should be a logical thinking. Second one is, it is characterized by rigid control that keeps it in close contact with reality. Reasoning means you are giving a scientific reason. Scientific reason means which is true in nature. That means what is real or what is the reality in life, that is what the reason you are giving. You just cannot give some imaginative ideas, or you cannot give some your viewpoint. That is not reasoning. Reasoning should be based on the reality. And third point, it is always directed towards the achievement of a specific goal. When you are giving reason to particular thing, that means you are particularing on one particular goal. Based on the goal, you are doing a steps to solve the goal. So while doing the implementation, you are giving reason. That means you are giving a reality check on your goal. The last point is, reasoning does not occur unless a question has arisen. That means reason does not occur unless a question has been arised. See, when there is a question, then only there you can think about the reason. Okay, if there is no question or if there is no problem, what is the use of giving reason behind it without any concept or without any topic? So if there is a question, so the reasoning initiates because of that. Okay, so this finishes your reasoning. Reasoning is a very small topic for you, so that is why I have ended with only two concepts, definition and nature of reasoning. So in this chapter, I have completed thinking and reasoning. If you have any doubts, you can ask me directly. Thank you for listening.